Please be seated. Now, on to the oral questions for today. The first in the name of Chloe Swarbrick.
My question is to the Prime Minister. Does he stand by all of his government statements and actions?
Of course. We're cutting inflation down, helping young Kiwis stay afloat. We're putting more pressure on gang violence to keep our communities safe. We're doing all these efforts to make New Zealand better, to get New Zealand back on track.
Supplementary?
Supplementary from the Honourable Rawiri Waititi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. Does he agree that his party's lack of diversity directly affects their ability to justify and effectively implement bills and policies that will benefit everyone and not just himself? With the lack of support for Te Tiriti values and Māori government names?
We're trying to make New Zealand equal. No more catering to special groups. Every New Zealander deserves an equal opportunity at life.
Order! The Honourable Chris Luxon answered that question, and we will be moving on to the second oral question by the Honourable Chris Hipkins.
My question to the Prime Minister regarding his efforts to remove Māori names from governmental bodies and organisations, along with the removal of the Māori Health Authority, how will this usher in his new age? Let me be clear. Dookie, where's my script? Thank you, Dookie. In devising our new budget, we've been forced to utilise the pennies that Labour has left behind. Record levels of spending, leaving an enormous hole in our economy. You, as the former Prime Minister, need to take some responsibility for this direct result, as we are unable to allocate money and resources that can be spent on hard-working New Zealanders towards your fruitless organisations. It seems unreasonable, Mr. Prime Minister. How can you not defend your own actions, yet you pass the blame around freely? How do you respond to the outraged citizens of this country protesting your very efforts?
Moving on. The next question from the Honourable Matt Dookie.
It's Doocy, sir.
Yeah, sure, go on.
My question is to the honourable, dedicated, oh so handsome, tried and true man of the people, Christopher Luxon. What is he doing to combat inflation?
What we're doing, we're adding 15 more 4-lane highways and increasing all the speed limits to get the economy moving faster, get it all back on track.
One more lane will fix everything, Mr. Prime Minister.
My question next, right? I made sure to put it in there. Yes, Mr. Peters, your question's next. My question is for Mr. Seymour. Seymour, how does it feel to be a political cuckold?
I take offence at being referred to as a cuck by someone who smoked for 60 years.
Now, gentlemen, there's nothing wrong with smoking a crisp, warm, nice, non-branded cigarette after a hard day's work on the job. It's 1:45 p.m. You finish work at 1:45 p.m.?
Order!
I feel like we're brushing past the fact that the Prime Minister is actively encouraging smoking.
Order! Order in the court! Mr. Peters, that is not the oral question you submitted for today. My question is for Rawiri Waititi. How can he ask about inclusion when he himself asks questions in Maori? Further, isolating the proud Kiwis of this country that work hard and don't have time to go and pick up a second language, let alone go around stealing and acting stupid. That also wasn't the question you submitted to the Prime.
I'm actually happy to answer that. I answer these questions in Te Reo because it's the official language of our country, Aotearoa. You once said, we speak English in this country, a language that came from a small village in Germany all those centuries ago. It is a language of commerce worldwide. We're here to discuss our country, our Aotearoa. This has nothing to do with commerce. That is why I answer these questions in Te Reo. Now I ask you, who are you referring to when you said we?
Come on guys, I just think we should all get along. Middle of the line, don't tip the iceberg. Stay the course.
Mr. Speaker, why is the Prime Minister exempt when you tell everyone else off?
That's simple. I like him. Now on to the next.
My question was next. No need to announce it. It's just for our Prime Minister. Mr. Prime Minister, Honourable Christopher Luxon, sir, how proud are you of our diverse, record-breaking National Party, caucus and representation in Parliament?
Thank you, Dookie. I've never been prouder of this company, government's diversity. I mean, we have people from around the board. We have people in our government from English backgrounds. We've got people with Pākehā backgrounds. The wide range of diversity, it's beautiful. Where's my script? We have party members that, such as myself, we represent the poorest, impoverished, most hard-working people amongst society. Landlords. We work every single day. Members that represent every single aspect of this country are found. I've never seen diversity like this before.
Questions will be asked when announced, Mr. Dookie. Have I made myself clear?
Doocy, sir. Yes, sir. Won't happen again.
Supplementary, Mr. Speaker?
Yes. Supplementary to the Honourable Chris Hipkins.
How can he doubt Labour's goal to keep the status quo, and all he does is actively make the country worse?
I'd like to refer back to a speech I made in Palmerston North a few months ago. Amazing town. Labour, your quick jabs at my government, your constant critiques, are a bit like an arsonist returning to the scene of a fire and criticising the fire brigade for the means they use by which they extinguish the fire.
Guys, come on. I feel like no one here is listening to me. My entire job is to initiate fight between the parties by prompting questions that don't seem to be answered with good, honest intent. Sure, we're a transparent government, but putting on this show every week is supposed to instill good faith within the people. But all that we try and do is fix things, and all the opposition does is bicker. I believe that if we band together and really reflect, we could... He's filming a blooming tic-tac again!
Doesn't take this country seriously.
Question him. This is why I should have been the Deputy Prime Minister.
Even if the Prime Minister wants to film a TikTok, he can!
Status quo. We have to keep the status quo.
Leave my glorious King Luxon alone.
Need a nap.
I'm not paid enough for this shit.
Can't we all see how our backgrounds and different points of view are influencing our stances?
Like how the more diverse parties tend to be more progressive, and the diversely stagnant parties continue to be conservative.
Wait, that's not what I meant.
Government is progressive, but... Dookie, no, it's bad for you. We don't do these ones, Dookie. This, yeah. But we're the only ones trying to fix this country.
Exactly. How can that white Edie call our country Aotearoa when it's called New Zealand? If we want to change the country's name, we ask New Zealanders, not these minorities who say they're the Maori voice, yet only get 3% of the vote most times, yet say that the Maori people make up 18% of our country. If that is the case, that means 1/6 of the Maori people support them and 5/6 don't.
Thank you for that beautifully observed message, Winnie. Now, let's take a quick break for our sponsors.
Quite a bit of talk recently across TikTok about KSI's new song. I don't know how I feel about it, but you're going to want to listen to this. We've just announced our 149 projects as part of our fast track bill. It's all about economic growth. At the moment, it's ridiculous. You want to build a wind farm in New Zealand? The answer's no. You want to build a housing development? The answer's no. You want to build a new road or public transport project? The answer's no. Fast track is about changing it so that we say yes to houses, yes to renewable energy, yes to roads, yes to public transport. Let's get on and grow the economy.
What?
Boss, you know, I always think you're right, but was the ad the best way to get our agenda?
Don't be silly, Dookie. Ads always get the customers buying.
You're right, you're right.
Customers. You meant to say voters, right?
That's what I said, wasn't it?
Great ad, sir. Very funny.
It wasn't supposed to be humorous. That was me showing my more studious side.
Of course, sir. Always a pleasure to watch.
You'd love to watch, wouldn't you? You guys are all missing the point. We can just agree to the government's fast track bill and we can stop all this pointless arguing. I am the neutral mediator in this court and you will respect me when I speak.
Is that why you voted against the marriage amendment bill to legalize same-sex marriage?
Or against the end-of-life choice bill, which would have given those with terminal illnesses the ability to end their own suffering.
What about him voting against the abortion legislation bill?
What are you doing, you fool? We're a coalition. He's one of us.
I just thought it was relevant where children were concerned.
You know all about the youth. Using that Snapchat to talk to young 14-year-olds.
That was purely political, and I still use it to answer serious political questions, okay?
The only serious question here, boy, is how you got away with talking to those young kids on the Snapchat. Are you seriously trying to convince me that having a biased mediator is a bad idea for political debates? What kind of nonsense?
I just zoned out, but I believe everyone was doubting my fast track bill. It's gonna help New Zealanders. What about Aotearoa?
New Zealand will be much better off.
The Prime Minister is too busy trying to help himself. The people, that he refuses to look down and see all the people that he's stepping on.
Ah, stepping on. You must love that, eh, Seymour? And that's it, everyone. See you next week.
So, why is it important to have diversity in the government for you?
Well, as someone not from New Zealand, I think it's very important to have diversity of perspectives because New Zealand's quite isolated. I think with all the new issues and things coming up in society, it's important to have people from, you know, all walks of life be able to contribute to discussions.
I think it's really important to have so many voices being able to be heard. I mean, historically we have had a lot of issues, so being able to counteract any things we put in place in the past by actually hearing the people affected, I think is really important.
Well, I just believe that the purpose of politicians is to be representative of the population that they're serving. So that's why it's important to me that Parliament actually represents the population that they're serving.
I'm all about inclusion. I think we need more diverse opinions in Parliament so all of Aotearoa is heard.
Did you enjoy working on the project? Would you do it again?
No, I wouldn't. The director, I don't even want to. They don't provide food, they don't provide anything. So I went out and I had to buy my own lunch, which some divas apparently aren't used to. So they think that they're entitled to someone else's food for some reason. And then when you find it in her purse,
Thanks.
I get it!
No. I've done quite well for myself, I think, as an actor. I've just come from the Globe in London, and now I'm here with this man. Help me.
Look, this has been honestly the worst 2 days of my life. The producer was absolutely useless. I've never had a cast that's been so unprofessional in my life. I will not be returning to the studio. I will be filing a lawsuit.
I absolutely hated it. The directing, the actors, they were all shit.
I've got to pay, so I'm gonna work every day. I've got mouths, I've got to feed. I'm so funny.
Mr. Prime Minister, it's nice to finally make your acquaintance.
Who are you? How'd you get in here? What do you want with me?
I believe I can help you with something, Christopher. Just need a little something in return.
How could you possibly help me? I'm facing problems with lack of diversity, and you don't look very diverse.
I've got a gift. My superpower over the last 12 months, if I've had any, has been that when I see corruption, I stay silent. I don't get into arguments or insults with people who are corrupt. I trust that my loyal supporters will work it out.
I'm in.